Welcome to Sorella Unedited? No, what is it? Sorella After Hours? After Dark?
Ready?
Yeah.
Action. Everyone, welcome to Aesthetics Unedited, the Sorella edition. I'm Emma. I'm the esthetician here and medical assistant.
I'm Maddie, and I'm the nurse injector.
And this is our very first podcast.
Yeah, episode 1.
Episode 1. So before we get into any treatments and skincare and all the things that you're here for, we just wanted to kind of tell you our why and why we are here at Sorella and why we opened it.
My background, I have been a nurse for, 9 years now. I started as an LVN, and then I got my RN 3 years ago. Most of my background was hospice, so at the bedside, and then a little bit of telemetry as well. And about 2.5 years ago, I started dipping my foot into aesthetics, and I have just loved it so much. It's a really rapid growing field, so there's so much education, and it's actually overwhelming how much education there is, but it's a really exciting field to be a part of, and I've always been into health, wellness, beauty, and this kind of merges the two worlds of nursing and science and beauty. So,
and if we didn't mention, we're sisters. I don't even think I said that.
Yeah. If you can't tell.
Yeah.
Everybody.
So I think that her field in the hospice, that takes a lot of listening, understanding, and that really is important in aesthetics. And I think that kind of drove her to be where she's at. She's great at listening to people's concerns. And I also think when we were kids, beauty was her strong suit.
I always thought I was going to do makeup.
Yeah.
Makeup artist.
So I was super excited when she wanted to come into this field. I started esthetician 2 years ago. I worked in a med spa for a while, and I really enjoyed it. I loved the industry, and I wanted to dive in more, so I went to esthetician school, finished that, and then I realized that I wanted to open up a med spa with my sister, and I went to medical assisting school so I could help her flip rooms, do injections, all the fun stuff, and we really just balanced each other out, and nothing's better than working with your sister.
Yeah.
It's the
We'll
best.
bring 2 different specialties. Like mine is nursing, injections, and yours is very skin focused. So it's nice to refer back and forth too. So when people have deeper skin concerns, I can be like, here's my
and also being able to just be we can be honest with each other, and I think that's super great.
Who's gonna tell it to you better than your sister? Super
honest.
Brutally honest.
If she's running full force, I'm like, no, take it back.
Bring it in, yeah.
Bring it back. We can't do all that. So I think it's great, and that is our why. Yeah. We want to make people feel better. We want to make them feel confident in their own skin.
I think another why too is I started at a really corporate place, which we won't drop names this podcast. Maybe later down the road. But I started at a really big corporate med spa, and it just felt very fast, very rushed, and I wanted to slow things down and give people the time that they needed, the one-on-one, which being our own business, we can do that. We can spend 2 hours on a consult if we need to. That's another why for me.
Well, I have some outlines that I kind of want to go over, just a couple things. Where do our roles overlap, and where do we each take the lead?
Ooh. Well,
we overlap a lot.
We do overlap a lot. When my days are really booked and busy, I need you. I need you here. It keeps me on track. Because of course I have the nursing background, so I do the assessments and the treatments and all those things. But my third and fourth hand is you. So I think handing, cleaning, checking out, keeping me on track is really helpful too. And then,
I think that you're really clinical. Your whole background is just having a treatment plan and treating the patients. Mm-hmm. When I can come in with the skin, and I can come in with all of the other little things that you may be missing, like skincare, all of those things. You're really taking care of the patient.
Yeah. And treatment plans, we definitely overlap with treatment plans.
Sure.
Treatment plans aren't like Botox and I'm done. It's very multiple layers to a treatment plan, so we definitely overlap in that. And there are things that you can do independently, and there's things that you can't do independently, especially in California. It's a really strict state.
And we're going to get more into that in later episodes, what you can and can't do in the state of California.
Yeah. So things like microneedling, maybe other states can do. We can't in California for you, so that's a strictly nursing role. Lasers, we did bring on a laser, and you did get certified, but in California, you're not able to do it. So just knowing those kind of scopes of practice and being able to delegate
and
those
things that like
appropriately.
you maybe not even able to help some people with textures of their skins, discoloration. There's things that I can do.
And I have people ask me all the time. They're like, "Maddie, are you gonna do my microneedling? Are you gonna do my peel?
Oh, my
Are you
peel?
are you gonna do my
dermaplane me?"
Trust me, you don't want me doing that. You want somebody who specializes in that. So it's just funny because, you know, some of the patients came in like as my client or as your client, so you build those reports, but there's some things that you want me doing. There's some things you want her to do.
Oh, for sure.
You don't want me doing your facial.
Yeah. Another thing, let's see. Training and license. We kind of went over that.
Yeah.
I got my esthetician and my medical assisting, and obviously she had to go to RN school to be able to do these
nursing
things.
School. And then after that, it just does not stop. Nursing school does not teach you anything aesthetics. So you really have to go and find that education for yourself and invest in it. So there's ongoing education all the time. So lots of certifications, lots of training with people. We just got back from Las Vegas, the aesthetics show, where we did lots of continuing education credits and things like that. So
yeah, and maybe we will do a podcast on that whole experience. Yeah. That was our first aesthetic show together.
Yeah, fun.
Separate too. It was really fun. We also kind of went over this, but we'll touch base a little bit. Who's supervising injections and treatment plans? That's
a loaded question.
That is a loaded question.
For sure. So I can't speak on other states because I'm not in them, but in California, any med spa needs to be supervised and treat like standard operating practices
delegated
and things
by
a doctor. So we do have a medical director. So he oversees all the treatment plans. We collaborate with him. We also integrate nurse practitioners to do your like good faith exams is what we call them, where you prior to your appointment, we send you documentation to kind of give us a little background about yourself to make sure that you're eligible and cleared for treatments. And they always call me too and let me know like, hey, this person's eligible to this. Can you dive deeper on this? It might be a contraindication. So it really is a collaborative effort. So we have the doctor, we have the NP, and we also have the nurse and the MA and the esthetician carrying things out. And like we said, depending on what your scope of practice is, what you can do for treatments. But it's mainly me here doing all of the injectables, the lasers, microneedling, wellness, and then
yeah, that was a great explanation. Love that. Why credentials matter more than trends, what you should actually look for when you're researching a provider, especially we're talking about in California specifically. What should we look for when we're looking for a provider to do our Botox, our fillers?
Yeah, I think that's another loaded question. They said last year or this year that there's more med spas than McDonald's, which is a fun fact and also really scary. So just knowing, you know, who's actually setting things up correctly, that there are doctors involved, that there's nurse practitioners and RNs involved at minimum. Who should be doing your injectables is an RN. I do hear a lot of
people saying estheticians are doing them.
I get a lot of estheticians are like, I think they're medical, but I also did it out of their house or like out of, I don't know, somewhere random, and not knowing what credentials they have. I think at minimum you should ask like, are you a licensed provider? What is your license? And you should be able to look up anybody's license. So like if you go and see them,
my license is there, your license is there.
Yeah, it's hanging up on our wall. Our certifications, our credentials, all of those things are hanging up on the wall, easy for you to see. So when you walk into a place, I think seeing those things, and if you don't, being able to ask for them and then being able to provide them. Right. Because you do want to know, and you want to, you know, and sometimes it's not like how long have you been doing this or like all the things, but like what have you done to obtain education and what do you do to stay current in education and what do you do to be safe. Another thing too is using legit products. Right. That's a whole nother topic, and we could get into that for like an hour.
Yeah. Maybe on a
but at minimum, you should be able to like look up your provider and know what their credentials are.
Who they are.
Yeah.
And what education have they had. Yeah. It's super important. Do we have any stories of why this matters?
What matters?
Why credentials matter? Have you heard anything? Like, any of your clients come in
Well,
and said
just
some
at
stuff?
yes, lots of local things for sure. But at
Right.
the aesthetics show, like there was the whole thing of a med spa claiming that they were doing like 300 Botox treatments a month, and the company was like, "Hey, you're only buying two." And immediately an investigation happened, all the locations shut down. So like what were they injecting into you? And I
Right.
don't know any like horror stories that came out of it of like something happened. And this is another thing I hear
But it
all the
could. It
yeah.
could
That's what
happen.
people are like,
And
oh,
that's the
I'm getting my
thing.
injections out of a garage from an esthetician. And they're like, it's been fine until now. And I'm like, okay. I think the thing is,
And
if
not
something
even,
does happen, who's held accountable at that point? Because if it's a counterfeit product, if it's not a real product, you can't
right.
trace it back anywhere. If they don't have any medical staff to refer back, who's going to manage your complication for you? And I get that. Like, you're like, oh, I've done it 5 times. It's been fine since then. But like, what if you get a bad batch? What if there's something is wrong? What if
Mm-hmm.
it's, the one time you have nobody on your side to help you manage those issues? And another thing too is like the DIY people
Do it
coming up.
yourself. It's
Yes,
so
on
popular. We have TikTok
for
to look on, YouTube University.
yeah,
Like, people think they
filler and
know.
Botox, and it's like, okay, let's say something emergency does happen and you go to the ER. A lot of your ERs aren't prepared for like aesthetic emergencies. Like you're not going to walk into, I think, God, this was another study. They somewhere in like, I think Oregon, they like did they went and talked to a bunch of ERs and were like, do you have Hylenex on hand? And I think none of them or one
Then,
of
yeah.
them had, and there was like 10 urgent cares or ERs next to them. None of them had Hylenex, which is the emergency reversal agent for filler. So if you're going to an unlicensed provider, somebody who doesn't have access to any of that, it is an emergency. You have a short amount of time to reverse that to not have permanent damage. So just knowing that your person can handle
Handle
something,
an
because
emergency.
it
It
is,
happens. It's
yeah,
not it's
it's
not
rare,
if, it's
yeah,
when it'll
yeah,
happen.
and
And
how you
they
handle it,
tell you that
and
all the time in this field. It's bound to happen.
mm-hmm.
It happens all the time. Vascular occlusions,
Yeah,
all the things.
even the best of the best things
Yeah.
happen. People with ultrasounds, all the things. So, um, yeah, I think that's
That's
my crazy stories. Like, it's fine. It's not, nothing bad has happened yet.
yet.
But I do get a lot of people like that were doing under the table injections and then end up in my office because that person has gone missing or like they're no longer practicing and things like that. So when I do get them in my chair, I just educate on how, if it isn't me, if they go somewhere else after, like how to scope out your next place and not get into trouble. So,
Right. What can listeners expect from future episodes?
I think we were just discussing that today of like, who is this podcast for? Like, who
Yeah.
are we wanting?
And I'm hoping, there, I mean, even just this one, we could have rambled about all of those topics.
A lot.
We're going to dive deeper into those things. And I think it's mostly for patients and people out there.
General
just
public.
General public.
Yeah,
Everyone
just interested in aesthetics, but maybe
don't
is
know much
scared.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many little details. And if you are scared and to go into a med spa and live some of these horror stories that you see on the internet, this is a place where hopefully we can kind of clear your mind a little bit and put you at ease. Those things are very important and they happen all the time, but with safe injectors, safe products, FDA approved products.
And I think being comfy with your provider too. Like if you
Right.
go in and you just, even if they have all the credentials in the world, right, and you just feel uncomfy or you feel like you can't have like an open dialogue with them or you feel like you couldn't pick up the phone if something happened and talk to them, like that's not the right person
and you see
for
that
you.
a lot with higher chains, not naming anybody,
Yeah.
but with a lot of these bigger corporates,
You're like, I don't want to go back. Like,
yeah, they walk in and you barely get greeted. You don't really know what products you're putting in your face. They kind of push products on you and push treatments.
We can talk
Our
about
our whole goal is to not do that. We don't want you to get anything that you don't need.
And a lot of you guys have my personal number.
Yeah.
So like if something does happen the next day, like if you need to, or you feel like you just have a question because it's a new service for you and you're like, is this right? Is this wrong? Like what's going on? Like people can pick up the phone and call me, and they do call me or they text me and have that open relationship, which I think is really important when you're doing something so intimate like injectables to your face or facials or hair removal, or like it's very intimate and you want to have that open relationship with your provider. So
yeah. Well, we're really excited about this podcast. At least I am. I kind of had to push it on her a little bit.
Yeah. But we're excited.
We're excited. It's scary. It's new. But even if we have only 10 people watching.
And that's 10
That's
people we
10
made an
people.
impact on. Yeah.
We saw that in our aesthetic show this week, and it was really funny.
This is 50 people.
And it was just 50 people staring at you. It was great.
Social media has skewed like so much of what amount of people mean something. Because like in a room of 50 people, that's a lot. But when you're like, oh, I only got like 1,000 likes, like what?
Yeah.
It's just funny.
But we're excited, and we hope you guys are excited. We hope you learn a lot and you get to know us as individuals. And we will be trying to put out a video. No, we are going to put out a video every week. So that's it for episode 1.
What's our drop days for what days can they expect our...
Oh yeah, you can expect us. We're going to be dropping every Wednesday.
Okay.
I'm going to drop 2 episodes the first week so you guys can binge a little bit if you want. That's my favorite thing to do on any podcast. So that's it for episode 1. Thank you guys for spending time with us. We really appreciate it. If you have any questions that you want us to answer, you can head over to our Instagram. You can comment on wherever you're watching this. We're going to upload it on YouTube, Spotify, and then I'm going to put some reels and stuff on Instagram. So hopefully you guys will come over and listen to us. But we will be here every week.
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
You'll see us.
Thanks for listening,
Thank you guys.